Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your purchase of your Catalina Legacy 263BHSCK travel trailer. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things taken into consideration when parking. On your campsite, of course, your awning. You have plenty of room for that to come out. And on your off campsite, think about your slide. You got a pretty deep slide here. Be plenty of room for that to come in and out unhindered, preferably nothing hanging over top, and then you leave yourself a nice walking space. Because the next thing I need you to think about is where your power and water connections are going to be. They are going to be toward the rear of your unit. Water connection and power. So park accordingly so that you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook your hitch, first thing you do is level your unit. Our unit does come with a power tongue jack. The night docking lights, should you arrive at night, simply raise or lower the unit until it's level. Now you do have a manual override right here for that hand crank. Should you lose power, you can get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts when you arrive. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose. Once we've got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit have these stabilizing jacks. 3/4 inch hand crank. Simply put that on and crank these down. And as I crank these down, I am going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris and hot blacktop. Better distribute the weight. Pick up a 4-pack of those with your 10% off coupon. Set them down and run these down just until they're taut. Once you have any type of resistance, you know you're down far enough. Remember, these are stabilizing jacks, not leveling jacks. We already have our unit level. All we want to do is crank these down and get it stable. Once we have all four of them down, our unit's level and stable, we can hook up our power and water. Heading to the back of your off camp side. In the rear corner will be your power cord. 30 amp service there. Big long cord. At the end of that 30 amp service, should you need, there's a 30 to 110 adapter so you can plug in at home. That'll be in your convenience pack. Got our power hooked up, let's hook up our water. At campsites, we'll hook up the city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use this when putting fluid in here, or your black tank flush. Hook that up, hook up your hose, but don't turn our hose on yet. Let's go find your hot water heater. Over here in the campsite, just behind your, or to the left, or your bedroom door, is your hot water heater. All we're gonna do at this point is make sure our drain plug's back in. Throw some plumber's tape on there, get that in there nice and snug. Once that's in there tight, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now after the hose has been on for a little while, you can go inside and deploy your slide if you need to. Our unit's level and stable. What we're going to do is get inside and open up our water taps. Get all the air out of the lines. Once you got a steady flow of water flowing through them, you can shut them off and turn on your hot water heater from indoors. There is an on-off electric element right here in the corner of your hot water heater. The only time you want to turn this on here is if you're hooked up to 110. Otherwise, just turn it on indoors. Hot water heater doesn't seem to be working. Come out here and look to see if these are bubbled up. It's a reset button. Just press them back down. And then your pressure release valve. All right, let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're not going to a campsite. We're going to go dry docking, or boondocking as they call it. Over here on your off-camp side, lower your storage door, and there's your fresh water or potable water. Now, no need for a water pressure regulator here. Simply fill this up with a hose. 2 ways to tell when it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here, or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your battery, black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button that'll tell you when this is full. Once it's full, unhook your hose, close this up, and to use that water, you're going to want to turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when using city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we're all set up to camp with power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Again, your fresh water here, your pass-through storage. There's going to be your freshwater drain. There is an extra gray tank underneath your slide, which will be able to dump easier when your slide's closed. Back here, your black tank flush. We'll discuss that when leaving the campsite. City water tank, and an outdoor shower. Hot and cold water on that. Here's where we'll dump our tanks. Here's where you plug in your cable, your power, your accessory hitch. We'll close that up for you. Find it easiest is to grab this tire and lift it up. Before I do, you have a spray port here for spraying off the trailer. I'll show you where the hose is for that. So set this up, and then just use our cotter pins to secure it. I'm going to do the same on both ends. Also have your main low point drain back here. Spare tire with a cover, and you're also prepped for a backup camera. Device you can purchase from our store. It sits on the dash of your tow vehicle. Electronically communicating with that device, giving you a backup camera for the unit. Over here to your outdoor kitchen, you have to press down on both these blue buttons at the same time in order to pull this out. Do a quick connect from there with this hose to right there. There's your outdoor kitchen. Electric here. Again, you have to push them down to get that in. Make sure you secure your door. Lock that when traveling. Your awning's just about all the way out. I'll run that the rest of the way out when I go inside. Your outdoor speakers. This is a vent for your microwave. Down here, cable 110 if you want to put a TV outside here, or just plug in a crock pot. This is a flue for your furnace. Steer clear of that if you run your furnace. It will get hot, and make sure you don't block this opening. Again, your hot water heater. And there is a manual override for your slide. Coming into your storage, here's the hose I mentioned. Plug into the spray port, your hitch work. Your propane comes with a cover. Comes on a regulator. You see it's red and pointing toward this tank. When I open this tank, it's going to turn green. It turns red, you know you're out of gas. This is your battery disconnect. This would disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide propane detector. That about covers everything on the outside. Let's go take a look inside your unit. Coming in your entry doorway, you step above steps, large grab handle. First thing I like to mention in all units is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows that the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Coming in, and immediately to our right is our control panel. So here's where you check the levels of your tanks. Here's your brand new battery, black and gray tanks. There's the freshwater button I said you can hold down to tell when your potable water is full. Slide control and awning. The awning, I'm gonna hit extend. You only want to run that out until that bar, you can see the bar and your flap is down to 90 degrees. That will extend past that, so keep an eye on it when you are running it out. And run that back in. Your exterior lights, your interior lights. Here's where you turn on your water pump if using potable water, and to the left of that's where you'll turn on your water heater. Finish running your awning back in here. Once that's in, we'll continue this tour. That's in. Exterior lights are off. Call this a slam lock. lightly slam it and it works better. A couple of 110s and USBs as you come in the doorway. Come around into your living room here. I'll come over here and shut this air off. It's a little loud while I'm working here. Self-explanatory microwave. Down below that, a light and a fan. Your glass top here makes an excellent backsplash. Flip that back like so. Turn this to high and press it in for your light. Once your gas is on, that'll light there. Same thing on the oven. Turn that to light and hit your spark and that'll light that as well. Down below that's going to be access to your breaker box and fuses. This is going to be your 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mention it's 12 volt is always running off your battery. So if you are boondocking and you're out somewhere where you're not plugged in charging your battery, go ahead and use that battery disconnect on the tongue up there if you're going to be gone for the day to keep this from running your battery down while you're gone. Fridge, I just want to mention on your fridge, make sure this is strapped back for travel. Fridge won't pop open on you. Connex TV. Got your remotes here. Turn that on for you. While that's coming on, I want to mention where your cable goes in here. There's a little green light. Make sure before you run your digital channel scan that that light is on. It's a digital channel enhancer and it'll allow you to pick up more channels. There's your TV on. You have to go through that, set that up. It's also a remote for your sound system here. Turn that on, press the middle in. It's on Bluetooth. Go to FM. I don't know if we'll pick up anything out here, but let's run a channel scan real quick.
Definition is
so zoned. Shut it off indoors. Now it's just outdoors. Zone 2 is outdoors. AM, FM, auxiliary, 2 auxiliaries, Bluetooth. Really nice system. Fireplace. Not just for looks anymore. I can turn this on. Go through all the pretty colors. But folks, it's really about the heat that this thing will kick out. If it's chilly in the morning or evening, and instead of using your gas to warm it up in here, crank the heat up on this thing. It'll get it toasty in here in no time. And continue by walking back into your bedroom. 110 and USB ports on each side. One touch lighting above the bed. Your lighting here. You also are prepped for a TV back here. Backer on the wall, 110 and cable here. Separate entryway and large closet. Also have storage underneath the bed. That's accessible from outdoors. Continue into the living room, the 110 there. Your sofa. So you know there are a cup holders here. You can also jackknife this down into a bed by lifting up on the front and laying it down. Lift up on the front, grab the back and pull it towards you, and then you are back to a sofa. Over here, lift your tabletop up. Remove the legs, set the tabletop on this lip right here. Put your back cushions on top, gives you another bed. Over here on the wall is your thermostat. Turn that air back on, let you hear that running. Shut that off. Turn your furnace on. Shut that off. You'll notice that the furnace fan takes a couple minutes to shut off compared to the AC. Coming into your bathroom, the only thing I want to mention in here is this is where your 110 with GFCI resets at. You also have a hand crank open exhaust vent here. And lastly, your bunk area, storage underneath there. That about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're going to leave the campsite and close this up. I start by looking in the bedroom and making sure that all the lights are off. Secure my door. I come to my control panel, shut off my interior lights, because then I can look around and see any individual lights that I may have left on. This is just one touch. Now that all my individual lighting is off, make sure the bathroom's off. It is. Now we can turn back on our interior lights. Doors and drawers. Make sure that all doors and drawers are closed, secure, nothing is in the way to impede this slide from coming in. Simply hit slide in. Let your slide come in. See, the furnace fan just shut off, so it does take a couple minutes. And it's like that on all trailers. And as the slide comes in, you see the importance of making sure that that TV is back on its swivel. Push back against the wall. All those doors down there are closed. And we're in. Shut off our interior lights and exit the unit. Now on these steps, you're going to want to make sure they're all the way open. Otherwise this can catch on it as it comes up. You see how close it comes here? Once that's in, turn this either way and lock in your door. Lock and deadbolt your door. Lift and turn this handle. At this point, unhook your cable, your water, your power, and bring up our stabilizing jacks. So water's been unhooked. We're going to come here to our low point drain and open up both those. If we are boondocking, we're going to come up here to the fresh water drain and drain that. Now once some waters have been draining, we're going to come back around to our hot water heater again. Open that up. Lift up on our pressure release valve. That's going to let the rest of the water out of there. Make sure you push this handle back down or your door won't close. And then you can pull your drain plug. Be careful, you're dealing with hot water here. Now we can hook up our hitch and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. You got two places to dump. You're going to start all the way at the rear. We do have bigger, longer, stronger sewage hoses, and you can set up a Y, but you still have to start back here. First thing we're going to do is pull our wastewater sewage. That's going to be your black handle. After your black handle's been, sounds like it's no longer draining, leave that handle open. Again with your water pressure regulator. Hook up the hose at the dump station and turn that on for a good 5 minutes and wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. Close that up, shut your black handle, and pull your gray handle. Those will be cleaner waters. That'll clean your sewage hose out a little bit for you. Then you will take and close that when it's done. And if you're doing them separate, you'll dump this galley tank last. Again, cleaner waters, sinks and showers, that'll clean your sewage hose out for you. And you can conveniently and sanitarily store your sewage hose right here in your bumper. Again, to thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Catalina for many years to come. Happy camping.